Hi class, this is your video feedback for your Real Deal Taco sites. You will have a chance to resubmit this next week, so be sure that you implement all of the changes, all the feedback that you receive. You might make 100 on this particular assignment, but that's only because the benchmarks were met for the soft launch. If the feedback is not implemented, then you will not necessarily receive full credit for week 4 for the revision. So it's very important that you realize that if you make a 100 this week, doesn't guarantee or mean that you automatically get a 100 or that it's complete. Things you want to make sure you do not have are any kind of placeholders. You want to make sure that all of your menus and your locations, your about section, all of that text is entered and that it's not a picture of words, right? All right, so let's go through and look at this one. Okay, you have your fictitious and everything down here. You have your logo. Very good. Look at your menu. It's all very clear. What you can do is left align these columns here. It's really great. You can edit this for yourself because it is going to be in your portfolio. So you can go ahead and edit to where you have probably two lines on each or 3 on each, but make them consistent, ideally. Same here, left align. Otherwise, it's looking really good. Okay. Interesting. Okay, this you want to cut down. We don't want to scroll very much, okay? So about that much, but go through and edit. There are things in there that are not essential. It's written that way so that you can edit that, all right? I want to look at your headers. This is lowercase. These are all uppercase. You want to be consistent with our fonts and with the upper and lowercase. This news may have a lot of images that need to be optimized. The files might need to be smaller because it took a while to load. But this looks great. That's super fun. Okay. So the rest of the story, here we go. All right, so is an image perhaps showing up here? You want to clean that up because otherwise this is going to be a really good portfolio piece for you, and it should be for just about everybody because the content has been given to you. So it'd be really great if you could just go ahead and finish this out, all right? All caps. Michael, you've done a really good job. For your soft launch, you've really pulled most of this together. Now, there is a Facebook site and Instagram for Real Deal Taco that's created for you. You can pull up there, all right? All right, and that's above the scroll. So you have, okay, here you do have it linked up. So really, since you have it here, you don't really need to have it here also. Okay. All right, so not a lot that you have to do. You also have it here, so let's not duplicate these. All right. All right, good job. Okay, we'll leave that alone. Okay, not sure we need the title twice. And I think you may want to bring this up and put it here. Okay, we want to get into our content as fast as we can. Okay, so this is a lot of space that we can omit and get into this. This looks great, by the way. Okay, good job. Okay, here we see a plate, and that probably isn't going to happen on a food truck. You might be able to get away with it, but not this one, okay? Because food trucks are just going to give you something like this, all right? So that you want to work on. This is a picture of words. It's multiple pictures. And the thing is, it's kind of I haven't seen it done this way, and for that reason, I kind of like it, but it does need to be intertext and not an image, and the reason is we can't search this, and so none of this would come up in a search for one thing. All right, so that has to be intertext, I'm afraid. This image needs to go because it's stretched, so we want to make sure we get those right. Otherwise, they're pretty good. Try not to, and this is for everybody, try not to cover up faces like this. As I go through, I might not continue to say things over and over again. I expect everyone to watch the whole video and make changes to theirs that they see have been brought up on other pages and other sites, all right? Okay, so that goes to Real Deal. Okay, let's edit this so we don't have one word by itself. Just take one word out somehow. I know it was given to you, but you can edit out a word or so there, okay? Help yourself there. Okay, again, this, I think we want it in the same place up here. I would take that out. Again, picture of words, that has to be entered to receive credit for that, week 4. And again, all right, so those cannot be pictures like that by week 4. I feel like that's a little wordy, but you want to work on the things we just mentioned as far as the text being entered first before you go into any kind of editing for that. We don't need these links, and they're a picture, so they're not actually working. We can get into these a little quicker. See, we've got a lot of things we don't need. Okay, if we can move that up somewhere, here or here. When we tell someone that they're going to the contact page, by the way, I don't see the contact page up here, but when we tell them we're going there, then we want to get right into that info, okay? So I would lift all of this up. I would bring it and see it's just moved as well. Okay, so here's the contact. Let's keep the order the same, and let's keep the location the same. So I would do something about this space and move all this up. That will go up here. All right, good start. Okay, we can eliminate this, and those can be, okay, we want to be very careful with changing a shape. This is not an oval, and it is designed for an oval. It's cutting this off a little bit so it seems like it has a border around it maybe. You definitely need to update the date and your name and take that off. We're going to see how this plays out. It's hard to read this because of the colors and the transparencies going over images. It's going to overlap, and that can be an issue. So this probably needs to be fixed. Okay. Again, picture of words, I think, here. Can't grab it at all. Yeah. All right, so enter all of these things, and testimonials can probably just be there somewhere. I don't think we need a comma here. We either need another page or a drop down or something. You got to be really careful, everybody, with drop downs, because again, the text will cover up things. Let's not tile this. And of course, this is the template still. So there's a lot going on here that is still the template. This needs to be edited down a lot. All right. So, but you did enter that. So good job there. Okay, we don't need this page at all, so we do need this information, but we don't need this. And when we tell them locations, we want to get right into it, okay? They're having to scroll quite a bit. And we're not telling them that that's where we are. So let's take off the reservations. You can say contact and locations, or locations and have another page that says contacts. Okay, so there's a lot yet to be done, and that will have to, in order to make full credit for week 4, those changes will have to be updated. All right, good job. Okay, the logo, you want to remember that. So, and this is a great image, and this is really easy to read. The contrast is good. So this is a 1 page. It's entered. If anybody needs to, they can combine Monday, Wednesday, and Tuesday, Thursdays, because they are the same locations. Okay, let's go ahead and put a link there, the icon instead of the actual URL. Okay, let's take this out and update it, and you need the fictitious disclaimer. Okay, so here's the thing. The only way we can get back is here. I think you need a home page. I know we can click that, but not everybody will do it. And again, we need the logo for sure. You did enter this text, good for you. Watch the reflowing here of the text. And you might want to break that up into 2 paragraphs. Okay. Okay, so yeah, just move the home over here. And we want to make sure that the about is next, because that is what is coming next in your 1 page. And then you have your contact. So your about needs to be next to your home page, like home, about, and then these are separate pages. Okay, all right, so yeah, and you can see how this has been done, so you want to take care of that. We want to get into this pretty quickly. Make sure you notice all of your headers, that they are the same. Doing pretty good there. All right, okay, I think you know what you need to do. Be sure you have the logo on your site. All right, good job. Okay, loaded pretty quickly. It's pretty big. Makes it a little unclear. There should be a vector graphic for this, an Illustrator file that will, in that case, you can size it. But I don't know if it's transparent. I guess it is. So here, update that, take that off. We don't have reservations, so disable that. And make sure that the menu button is going to the menu, which means we need to get into that a little quicker. Okay, work on the contrast here. It's hard to read, and it's not filled out. Okay, so no placeholder text. Okay. Let's be very careful about all the layering that we have going on. I think just a simple logo would be best. And now you have 2, because you have an online order. I would disable that. It's more work for you and it's not required. Okay, so there's really nothing on this page. You know, we need to, this is a good image, but we need to take most of this off. It's repetitive and it's taking up a lot of real estate, all right? So we need to edit this down. Very interesting. Great. Okay, so rethink some of this. It's not a sit-down restaurant, so be careful with this template, all right? All right, so if you look at this, if you look at your feedback, you're going to find a lot of things that need to be addressed, all right? You were focusing on some images. They can't book tables. They don't have tables. It's a food truck, all right? All right, good start. Okay, nice and clean. You have your logo. Okay, typically, good job, Stephen. Typically, the parallax scrolling doesn't work because the images don't usually work well, but these actually are working really well. All right, so kudos there. Okay, little light, but not bad. Consider left aligning these. Try not to have one word on a line by itself. Okay. One word here, unless it's flowing like that, but make sure your spacing is equal throughout. Otherwise, it's looking pretty good. I think you can tighten these up a little bit. So there's not quite so much scrolling. Again, the thing we want to do here is have minimum clicking and minimum scrolling. We want people to get that information right away. I guess that could be a food truck, but you got to be careful of glassware. And you want to cut that down, all right? There seems to be a lot of kerning, a lot of space between the characters. And let's see, if we're up here, we're starting the contact page way down there. Okay, so we want to get into this content right away. So something like this. You don't need to tell them this is the best way because this is what you're providing. All right. All right. So great start. And these can be connected. Might need a home page. Okay, good job. Might need a home button. And think about this. If you reduce your kerning here, you might be able to get that on one line a little better. Okay. Nice. Nice. And this is one page. Okay. that took a little while to load, so we probably need to optimize it to get it quicker. And good. Okay, good. And the scrolling is working fine. Okay, you want to enter that. Doing a good job with your logo fixed. This is a good image of a food truck. Okay. Again, this, and you want to get into that a little quicker. If that means putting a white overlay of the logo, whatever it takes to get into this content quicker. Okay? All right. And that can go to the link. Okay. Okay. We'll see how this works. It loaded pretty well, but typically this takes up a lot of space. And the parallax, I think you're going to have to marry the colors a little better. Okay, have that blend in a little more. You're going to have to pull some of these images, the color from that image, the color palette. And yeah, a lot of the template is still here, and we need to make sure you have padding around all of your text. That's something that you learn in graphic design. Yeah, update this, Kanisha, the date 2019. But the thing is, this template, very recognizable. And here's the thing about this particular menu. It covers up content. See, it covers this up. This is a little hard to see, by the way. We need more higher contrast there. We are skipping down to who we are. Okay. Okay, this is coming in strangely. Okay, so this, I don't even think you need that. You've got it up here. I don't think we need it here. I think this whole container can come out. These are good. Okay. All right, so those are some of the things that you'll want to take care of. All right? Make sure that nothing, this can be taken down to be smaller, not so long, so that it's going towards your longest. So so that's why it's covering things up. So you can bring this down and rename that. All right. And like I said, this who we are, this is very noticeable. This template's been seen a lot, so be careful. You might want to say, you know, our story or anything else. All right. Good start. Okay. I'll have to go back and see that one. Okay, this needs to be optimized. Took a little time to get in there. It's a great photo. Just took a little time to manifest itself. Menu, good job. Okay, try and get that on one line. Could be fresh limeade. Whatever you need to do. It's looking good. You need the fictitious disclaimer. And the better it looks, the more you need it. Okay, this needs to be edited down. Awesome photo. And I do like the way you have the reverse black and white, but It needs to be cut down still. No placeholder text by week 4. Good. Okay, they can't reserve necessarily, so as cool as that is, okay, so what you want to do is disable that, okay, for sure. Okay. And this isn't going anywhere, so you want to watch that. Okay, but, okay, here's the thing. Okay, so if we're up here, we've got About Us, Happenings, New. I'm going to get rid of that, and Contact. Okay. They would not have glassware. It's a food truck, remember? Okay. And that's going to change. All right. Okay, so here we go. Okay. All the restaurant images have to go, all the glassware. Okay, all right. Good start. Okay. A little higher contrast here if you're going to do it this way. I would left align it if you can. This is a different color blue. Be careful about that, but otherwise it's so far working well. I would take this button off and just have the text. Or just have a border or something. This shape is really dated. Okay. Okay, so we want to be careful with the parallax scrolling. The back picture needs to be something that really isn't so, doesn't show cuts like this. These kinds of breaks, it needs to be a lower opacity and drop down a little bit, and usually be an image with some depth. And we usually have to keep this whole part there. Okay, so go here. Okay. So good job entering this. You want to break it up and watch the reflow. Give a little more hierarchy, that is, you know, a header that is bigger. And this image isn't quite working, I think, and this is clipping. There's a little too much that's static. This, you know, maybe you want it to go to the entire edge, or it needs to really drop back again. You can try that, see how that works for you. Okay. Okay. Okay, you still are going to have to enter that text, but the lime is working. These, you just want the icons and not the links. And this will have to go. Also, it should just come to your contact page. Okay, good job. Okay, so maybe what you can do is make this image your background completely and enter the text. Okay, because it's not searchable otherwise. And this image is nice, but it's being a little repetitive in this case. It's kind of taking front stage for everything, okay? So far, so good. This is a plate. It looks really yummy, but a food truck doesn't, offer this kind of stuff. Make sure you see how this is overlapping the text. You're going to have to break these down to where they're much shorter. This is your longest, but this one is still too long, and so is this. So we can't let it overlap content, all right? And we want to cut that down a little more padding under there, but otherwise, this is starting to look pretty good. There's 2 S's in mission. This is working for you, okay? It's mostly going to be, this stuff, I think. Okay. All right, so you've got some menu items to enter still. Okay, and you can see these placeholder images are going to have to go. So is this one. Good job entering that. This halo, I think that needs to come off a little bit, at least on this one. It's not working for this that particular character. Okay. Okay, so that link, disable that. Not sure you need this because you've said that here. So this is a lot of space. The only thing good about it is you can see you're not overlapping anything, but you don't need that. It's not something you need. Got to update this template. Disable that completely. Okay. All right. So I think you know what you need to do. Make sure these link up. Okay. Good job, Nicole. Look forward to seeing it week 4. Okay. So basically this is your navigation. This whole page is your navigation and your logo. So what you can do is get a little more space for yourself and try bringing that up a little bit. Okay. Good job entering that content. This is your page layout. Okay, we've changed fonts here. All caps. Upper, lower. Let's left align that and cut it down. All right. The images are good, but we still need the content to be, right here. All right, so we want to minimize clicking and minimize scrolling. And we want to get into, the content quicker. Good job with your hierarchy. Let's left align, maybe break up to 2 paragraphs. Left, and 2 paragraphs, all right? But otherwise, that's looking pretty good. We do want to get into it pretty quick. think you can take that off. These are bigger than they need to be, but they do link to the right places. Kudos for that. But, you know, you can move them. Okay, so see, yeah, you're going to need to put your logo up here. And that image needs to be optimized. It's a nice one, but it needs to be optimized. It's loading slowly. But you've done a lot of work. Take out this extra O. Usually of is not a cap. Okay. It looks like this is either a different color or, yeah, I think this is a different color. And maybe it's bolder, but I think it's just the color. All right. All right. Great start. Okay. A little small. I'm probably going to ask you to take that catering off. Okay. Okay. You would need images here throughout. No, that's a little more work for you. So we either connect that or we need to disable this and just put the icon somewhere. Okay, so that image is loading slowly because I think there's something, you know, also loading. This font is different. It's the same type, but it's a larger. This would have to be left aligned and broken up into at least 2 paragraphs. Now we've jumped up to larger fonts, smaller. And then this is definitely more like that. So left align, great image. Yeah, this combo isn't quite working, okay? We've got too many image breaks. Okay, so, but this is really good. You might just want this to come the full page and not have that image back there because it's not quite working. Okay, we've got this font here. Okay, now we have this. So I'm not sure why that took so long to load. Let's try some hierarchy here. And okay, so this is upper lower and this is all caps. I think upper lower is best. This image you need to replace. It's got glassware and it's part of the template, which means everybody has seen it. Okay, so otherwise, Trevor, you've got some great things going for you. Okay, let's work on that contrast so we can see it better. It's hard to read there. All right, great start. Okay, I think I'm waiting for something here. And I have this empty space right here. That's kind of an issue, and we're clipping here, so be very careful about this. All right. We have a different name here, so that's kind of an issue. You would have to take that photo into Illustrator if it is something that doesn't have a copyright on it, and put the Real Deal Taco logo here. Okay, this is breaking up, hard to read. All that container can be taken out. I'm still scrolling. Okay. That's a really cool picture, but you know, it's not taco, so that has to come out. Try and stick to 2 fonts, all right? One for headers and one for body copy. This, you know, isn't quite working. The hierarchy isn't there yet because we go from this size to bigger, and usually the bigger is going to be at the top and gets smaller as it goes, more like a pyramid. And now we kind of have a different aesthetic here with this bold yellow, but again, lots of scrolling. These are placeholders, so you got to get rid of those. This came with the template. Good job entering that. Update this. So yeah, trying to marry that burger template with tacos is not easy, but you're going to have to simplify is what I see. Okay, take out a lot of space and begin to simplify. Definitely edit, all right? I'll look forward to seeing where this is going to be. Also, you need a navigation. Even if it's just a one scroll, you're going to have that there. All right? All right. Good job entering some of this stuff. See, because I don't know exactly how to find the menu. I see locations, and because the menu is in here. So definitely work on that, all right? Okay, clean, but the contrast here, that's a little hard to read. I see where you fix this by making the drop down. Got a different green here. Be careful about this drop down because it's covering your header. And what I meant to say is your drop shadow here. You kind of work that out. It's good. So there are 2 menus. I kind of like that green. This needs a higher contrast, right? And let's take out some of this space. And take out the things we don't need and just have the links to things we do need. Okay, now we go to a different style. A little space here. You may want to combine the Monday, Wednesday, so you can get a little space in there because your font's kind of a big size, but it's working really well in that way. Okay, now I feel like we've changed fonts here. A little headroom there, I think. But you're really working this black and green. And I do like that. This is all caps. And then this isn't. So I think we want to get into that a little quicker. Like close up a little bit of space. It's nice and clean. And I think I would try and center your text a little better, okay? Okay, let's just use icons. Okay. Okay, so instead of menu 2, maybe you might have to add it here and scroll down. I know it's scrolling, but it seems a little, there's not a whole lot. You could close up just a little. Try and get that on one line. Buy yourself a little space. And I think I would just not have that. I would just put it all here. Yeah, so you've got some content to put there, which is this. Okay, so the about is going to be this content. You could probably cut it down a little bit more. And then I would disable this in your case because you've got a good clean site started. Take this off, take that off, and put that content on about, and then you won't have that issue of, you know, that drop down covering your title. That needs contrast. Gets a little busy here, so you know, I don't know if that's going to have to be in the lime green or something to read throughout. Not sure that's necessary or that. And if you already have this in your gallery, then really you don't need so much on your home page. You could actually have your testimonials there. I would left align those. So yeah, you don't need those on the front page here. Okay. All right. Really good start. I like the colors. All right. So figure out this part. Okay. See what has to happen. All right. Good job. I think this needs to be updated. Okay, make sure your images are flush. I do love these images. Actually, I love them, but you know, we're using glassware. So that's an issue. Take this out. Also, this is a lot of the template left over. Okay. The food truck isn't going to have glassware and tables. And that's a placeholder. So we want to make sure you enter text. Okay. All right, so there's a lot of the template here. And so really that's what has happened is you selected your template, but there's a lot that needs to go into this. All right, and this needs to be updated. Hi, Raquel. The first thing that you want to do is make sure that you're using the images that were provided in the orientation. There's a folder, a Google file folder, and the images are there and the logo is there. So that way you will have clean fonts using those files. Be sure that text does not cover images and things. Okay. And let's see. Okay. Nice concept. Okay. Okay, so we've got some placeholder text that needs to be taken care of. Make sure you look at everybody's. And so you've got to replace some of this content for sure with the site for Real Deal Taco content. Disable this. It's going to be about okay. So we want to update that, right? And change that. Okay. So you started thinking about some of this. Yeah. All right. So I think you need to spend some time with this, and especially go back to the orientation folder for your content. All right. All right. That about wraps up where you are on your soft launch. Some of you put a lot of time into it. Some of it, some of these still need a lot of time. Make sure you go through and look at everybody's so that you can figure out what it is you may need to do. And good luck. And I'm looking forward to seeing these revised.